Hey everybody, Jason McCumsey, Redbeard Rebuilding, coming to you from the throwing area. Uh, I don't have anything to mount you on right now. I don't have a tripod. I only have one javelin with me, so I can't do my usual tape it to the javelin. So I'm gonna put you against the toe board on the shot put, and so that way you can see everything that we got going on here. Hopefully you can hear me all right down there, but I have it together. I've got a grip on it, and we're gonna see what happens. Um, Today I'm not doing any real full throws with it. I've just been kind of chucking it around. It's a little cold for me. I'm in jeans. Uh, just got off of work. But there's a lot to do yet, especially on the tail end. Earlier in the video, I said everything up front is fine. I don't have to touch it, don't have to do anything. But in the tail, we got work to do. Um, Probably won't be until next week that I get around to it because I got some other stuff at work. Um, but I know I said OTE when they build the countervail, they just spray the sucker in high build primer. It might not be high build. To me, it's high build. But they spray this whole thing in primer and build it up until it becomes as big as they need it. Because, like, I know back here on the very end of the tail is supposed to be at least 4 millimeters. Millimeters. It's supposed to be at least 4. That's maybe 3.5 at most. So it definitely needs something on the tail end. Um, and the two measurement points are definitely going to be off. Um, with this grip on here, I did put it where it should be, ish. Where as close as I want to make it, for a balancing point. That's about where we want it. So I can take my measurement from here and figure out what the tail needs to be. That way I can spray it as many times as need to. You want it to be a little bigger than what you want, so that way you can sand it down smooth, and then spray your color and clear on top of that without going over. Um, so, also, it is only 777 grams, 78 grams. So we got room to play with this down here and making it the size that we need it. And it's going to cover up all of these white spots that I've showed you before, where all the cracks are. They're not cracks, and it's not an inclusion. Um, it's just mold marks is the easiest way to say that. Um, it's I don't know how they make the molds for these exactly. I don't know how this is built. I'd love to know, but I don't know. So that's what these cracks are. They're nothing concerning. I'm not expecting it to break on one of these cracks or anything like that. Uh, it's just there. So we're going to cover those up. I'm probably going to paint this the same way I painted some of the other Valhallas, because this is basically a version of a Valhalla, because the Valhalla is this the got too many javelins, the air glider front end with an aluminum tail is what the Valhalla is. So this is like an upgraded version of a Valhalla, or like a Valhalla hard maybe, or more. It's probably harder than a Valhalla hard, because as far as I'm understanding, the Valhalla hard is still an aluminum tail. Um, it's just a stiffer tail. So this is probably harder than that. Um, I'm not sure what this would be, how you would compare it to either a countervail or a air glider. Not really sure. Kind of curious. I don't. There is in that thought process. There is no specific standardization of how far or what the rating should be on a javelin. All right. Each specific company has their own rating on the meter or the flex or if they've come up with another way that I don't know about, that is their own way of saying it. So if you take a True Flight 70 meter, compare it to a Nordic 70 meter, they're going to be different. Because how do we do this? I'm getting into a video that I should be making separately. So I think I did something like this earlier. The flex rating on things and the meter ratings on things is, it's easier to say it's different between companies, and that is why I always suggest find the javelin that fits you. For me, the javelin that fits me best, competition, when I was throwing all the time, was a Nordic 80. Or, excuse me, not the Nordic 80, the Namath 80 Club, with the one with the big blunt front end. I forget what colors it had back here. But that was my go-to competition javelin that I liked the best. My everyday go-to javelin is my Master 70 from Nordic. So Namath and Nordic were my top two javelins for that purpose. After that, it'd probably be the older OT. Right. Different view. Practice is getting ready to go on, and I was starting to go off on a tangent about whose javelin is what javelin and picking javelins and things like that. And that has, while it has everything to do with the javelin, it has nothing to do with this javelin. Right now we're doing some testing with it. I'm gonna go kind of chuck it around, have some fun with it while the kids are here. None of my kids are going to throw this because it is way too stiff for any of these high schoolers. But yeah, that's where we're at with this one. Probably next week I'm going to start getting this thing figured out and worked on and painted. I don't know if I might make a video with that, but it's really simple and easy because it's just going to be spraying, and it's going to be me measuring and spraying and measuring, until I get it to where it needs to be. Yeah, so then we might show you just the final product, and hopefully I can get it into some hands that can handle it. Yeah, so everybody stay safe, throw far, take care of yourselves, take care of each other.